That's because I didn't full on yell. Kind of did like
you didn't like lean into the mic and all that stuff like you usually do.
Right. If I just yell like this back here, it's probably pretty good, huh?
Yep. It's loud, but you're not cutting out.
Mm-hmm. And this vest is kind of tight like this election race, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Everybody's like, Clint, we can't see how you're dressed yet. You will. Should have seen me on Halloween. Had that Joe Exotic life going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was good. Were you just super tired when you got up Sunday to work?
Sunday. No, that night though I was. No, that morning I was okay. That night, wrecked.
We're out.
Just super tired. Oh yeah.
Dunsky.
Had a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Had a blast.
Even with you starting late and basically starting off like your normal epic fail self.
Right. Yeah.
It worked out.
Well, it's the thought that counts. I knew they had you in there. It was going to be okay. I knew you weren't going to let anybody just sit there in a corner by themselves and not have anybody to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we're safe, you know?
Heard that.
I swear Facebook hates me.
I'm sharing to the group, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I keep reporting it as a problem. Apparently they hate me, so. Nothing really gets done about it. It's like, it's one of those, oh, thank you for your feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for making the Facebook community better. Shut up. Yeah. And there's no way to like go around it either. Like I can't just open up a ticket and say, hey, this is a problem. Well, no, that means we would have to do a job, and we don't do a job. We just create chaos. So here we are.
Yeah.
I cannot. What?
I'm shared out and ready, just so you know.
What do you think I am?
I'm not sure what you are.
Not shared out and ready. Obviously. Yeah, we're getting ready to start though. We'll go ahead and play our video. Let the people see the magic. The magic!
It'd be hilarious if that door slammed shut and
Here's a little empty without Hunter tonight.
Like, what?
Oh, 10.
For sure.
There it goes.
Oh, she got me.
the deal.
She got me.
No,
She's on me.
no, I got the deal.
Going.
We're Delirious Dads Gaming.
So are you going to be a gamer that's a dad, or are you going to be a dad that's a gamer?
Go check out the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms and at the website deliriousdadsgaming.com. The Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast is a gaming podcast geared towards dads who are gaming enthusiasts. They don't take themselves so serious that they can't have fun. They include fun, joking banter that keeps the content both entertaining and relaxing. They bring gaming news.
The Halo Infinite teaser seems like it's marking the return of the banished.
Dr. Disrespect, so Twitch has permanently banned him and nobody knows why.
Game reviews.
Crackdown 3, worst reviewed game of this century.
Tips and tricks. And gaming quizzes with a dad perspective in mind. If you're a gamer, but life keeps you too busy to keep up, then they have your back. Check it out today on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, and more. That's the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast. You can also find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search Delirious Dads Gaming. Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast at deliriousdadsgaming.com. Go check it out now.
Running our sponsor ad now. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Click Gaming, a freelance esports tournament company based out of Oklahoma. If you're located in the U.S. and need esports services, this is the ultimate gaming company for you. Contact Johnny Weaver at icychiller@att.net. That's ICYCHILLER. On this episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast,
we want it, and we want it free.
Sometimes it's best to know when to close down shop and say goodbye.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
Wee doggies, welcome to another episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast. This is episode 90. I'm Clinton Stanley, and I'm here with...
Rye.
Big Rye. Welcome, Ryan. Hope you're doing good, brother. Hope you're doing good.
Oh, yeah. You know who we're not here with? Hunter.
Yep, no Hunter tonight. It's Wednesday night, and he has now started Wednesday church. So, actually, we'll probably be changing the podcast schedule. Just haven't got with everybody to figure out what we're doing exactly. Just know the live stream will be changing within the next week or so. Anyway,
yep.
But with that said, tonight, guys, no Halloween. Halloween is over. We had an awesome DDG Halloween celebration. Ryan,
yes, we did.
Ryan was a what, green M&M? Or no, you were blue.
I was a blue M&M. Yep.
Yeah, blue M&M. And Hunter was, of course, the one and only Wolverine, and I was Joe Exotic. So, yep.
When we say I was a blue M&M, we're talking about like a blue shirt with an M on it. Just so you guys know, I went all out.
Yeah.
Not like Clint with the whole Joe Exotic get up from a jacket to shirt to tight jeans to jewelry to the hair to the mustache. He nailed it. You guys will love the pictures.
I was finding my inner Joe.
It was good.
It was
I
fun.
loved it. It was.
Yeah, we played games. You know, we had witch's blood. You can ask Hunter for that recipe. And then Ryan made me some kind of tropical drink that was tasty, like dangerously tasty. So it was a good time. We had a lot of fun. The kids had lots of candy. So for all you dads out there that make that trick or treat trek, you know, kudos to you. Because I did learn when you wear cowboy boots and you've had a little bit to drink and you're walking down the old sidewalk with the kiddos and you're carrying the baby, guess what? The old legs start hurting pretty quick.
Especially cowboy boots that weren't yours.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so they don't really fit you right. Yeah.
And not to mention I had the Joe Exotic jacket on and I figured it'd be a little cooler than it was, and it was not. It was plenty hot. So, yeah, lots of mistakes were made, but we had a blast. So that's all you can ask. As far as gaming news goes tonight, guys, I don't have a ton of news, but I'm going to be bringing it to you. I'm going to talk about a new game that's on the horizon. It's not going to be a huge game, but it's more kind of the independent route, I'd say. Kind of like Phasma Phobia and games like that. Which, speaking of which, we're going to be talking about that and more. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the news segment that we have prepared for you guys. And then Ryan is bringing us none other than his favorite.
The Freebie Farm. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bringing you the list. It's the first episode of the month. So I'm bringing you the list of some highlights off of the Metacritic list for PlayStation and Xbox and Humble Bumble and the PC stuff that's free for everybody.
Yeah.
But all these games that if you got a subscription you don't want to miss, or if you just go into the regular free ones you don't want to miss. So we'll hit on some of them for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Well, Ryan, with that said, I know we don't have Hunter right now, but we're going to switch on over to the game news intro, and we're going to get on with some leaks for geeks.
All right.
Leaks for Geeks. You heard it right. It's time for our favorite news segment, the Leaks for Geeks. And tonight, we're going to go through it pretty quickly. We got a little video prepared here that we're going to throw in the background, and we're just going to discuss the news. So here we go. First game we're going to talk about here is called Firefighting Simulator, The Squad. Okay. So this is a game that was announced back in 2016. It was originally, I believe, just called Firefighting Simulator. So no squad involved. But now
there's a squad.
Yeah, now there's a squad. I think they're following the trend that we're seeing where it's like, hey, we need to make these games more co-op friendly. And so that's what we're going to be looking at here. Let me pull up the video for you guys, and you can tell me, they don't have a lot of gameplay here. I think this is probably earlier gameplay, but I just want to throw it up there so we can see it. Come on, video. There we go. Not much to the sound, so I'm just going to turn the sound off. But it's firefighting. So if you want to be a firefighter, check it out, guys. This is published by Astragon Entertainment, and this is made by a Sims company who also created one of the more famous Bus Simulator and Construction Simulator. So this game, like I said, is going to be a co-op. So it's 4-player co-op, and it says here in the actual article that I was reading, it says that the environment's actually going to react. So your fire is going to be very realistic. So it would be actually breaking down the materials around and all that kind of stuff. Right. So it's going to account for fires like caused from fuel sources, how it's affected by heat, smoke levels. Also going to have the phenomenon known as backdraft and flashovers that will be implemented in the simulation. So I thought that was cool. It also says that fires will spread dynamically, while the physics-based destruction models realistic damage to a structure, and sometimes there will be civilians in need of rescue. Nice. And just so you guys know, these are not your old, like when you hear Sims, this isn't like the game Sim. No, it's not 2D Sims back in the day. This is these simulators nowadays, like the truck driver sim and these race car sims and the bus driver sims and these things. These are like trying to make it as realistic as possible with real scenarios and if you do something wrong, it's going to affect things in a real way. And so that's how this game is too. So this is if you've never ever played one of those kind of sims, it'd be pretty cool to check it out. Yeah, or if you got a kid that's likes fire engines, I think it'd be a good one to play. And speaking of which, you're like, well, my kid can't play with me at the same time if we don't both have computers. That's fine. The game also features a single-player mode with AI companions that's included. It says it includes a load of officially licensed firefighting gear and fire trucks from the U.S. Sorry, my phone's wanting to talk back to me. So, yeah, you got that. I don't know. I just think it's kind of neat. Neat to have around the kids and stuff. So, I think all these kind of detailed sims that are coming out is kind of like a whole new category. Not that there's, there used to be flight simulators and stuff like that, but not to the kind of level people are producing now. Yeah. It's a whole, yes, if you were like actually in the Air Force, right? You had real high-end flight simulators. Well, now you've got that kind of stuff at home. Coming to your computer. You got when you pick a jet or a certain plane or a certain vehicle, the buttons that would actually be in that real vehicle or plane or jet are in your sim. And you have to be, adjusting them and all that stuff just like real life. Yeah, for sure. Even Flight Simulator itself's gotten better over the years, Now, this game's going to launch on Steam November 17th. So write that down in your calendar. All right, moving on. I mentioned earlier you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You got to know when to say goodbye. Well, this makes me sad. Gun Media is officially discontinuing all dedicated servers and official updates for Friday the 13th, the game, almost 4 years after the game has launched. Really? Yep. The team announced in in a statement, they said, the team at Gun wants to thank each and every player and fan that has made Friday the 13th the game what it is today. We know this news is hard to hear, despite being inevitable. We appreciate each and every one of you. They also say here that Gun Media notes that you'll still be able to play the game in private patches and public matches via hosted servers. So probably kind of like DayZ, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the servers, this essentially means the game's going to rewind or go back to when it launched on PS4 and Xbox One, where if a host leaves a match, everyone's going to get kicked. It says here that progression will continue as normal, just as the double XP, CP, and tape drop rates introduced at the beginning of the pandemic will stay. So, doesn't say anything about the DLC that people bought, like the outfits. I'm going to assume that stays.
Okay.
But yeah, horrible. Does that mean we can get the game free when they discontinue servers? Because that might still be worth it if you could get it free and then go do the dedicated servers.
Right.
Yeah, it makes me sad. Just a huge opportunity, and who would have known that it's going to get stopped by a lawsuit, you know? Crazy. Because I feel like that game, out of a lot of the horror games we've been playing, that one back in the day had so much potential.
Well, it was kind of one of the starters of this new era of, players escape, players verse monster.
Players versus the Juggernaut, yeah.
Right, which is kind of a big thing right now. It's a big category.
Yeah, you see it in a lot of stuff now. And being borrowed. Well, another horror game, I know it's not October anymore, guys, but we still have some stuff going on in the horror genre. Phasma Phobia, we got a little more info on them. They said that the updates will likely be bigger and bundle together more content. It says here that Phasma Phobia has seen such a hit that developer Kinetic Games is now reconsidering the plan for the game. Recently, he spoke to IGN, and he said, I was originally planning the early access to be short, where I just add a few more maps, ghost types, and equipment. However, due to the game's popularity, everyone's expectations are increased. So I'm now going to have to reconsider my plans for the game's future. He says, at the moment, my only focus is getting the major bugs fixed before I begin working on new content. After these bugs are fixed, the new content will likely get bundled together in big updates. All new updates can be played on the beta version of the game, which everyone can access through Steam.
Okay.
It says here that Phasmophobia has been an unexpected hit since it launched back in September, even for Kinetic Games, and it says it's peaking at over just 110,000 concurrent players. So that's not bad for a single developer video game.
It's huge for an unknown. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I really hope the guy ends up getting him some staff or somebody that can help him, just so he. Well,
did you just say that he's already part of a company? Didn't you say the name of the company too, or
no? That's just his company. Yeah, he's the only developer on it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy that that's happened the way it has. You know, I don't know. You know, me, I have that anxiety of if it's. I know how the gaming world works, and it's kind of. We have bad attention spans. We hit something, and then and I've noticed with this podcast, as we follow stuff, it seems like boom, it's a big hit, boom, 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 and then it's gone. I mean, unless it's huge, like a Call of Duty, a Fortnite, something like that. Like Fortnite, for instance, lasted a couple years, right? But now it's still popular, but it's kind of faded to the back, and other games are jumping in, taking control. That's all
you got games like what do you call it? Fall Guys, right? Sometimes it feels like it's fallen out of the limelight, and sometimes it's just out of the limelight because it's not what we're playing right now. Because we don't have the time to play all the games that we're into, and so anytime we've fallen off of a game, we do feel like it's not as popular. But we try to follow the news stories, and we see less news stories on those things, and that's what we're talking about. Kind of when the news or the buzz is dying down on the game.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've probably followed more streamers that don't play Fortnite, right?
Yeah,
so I'm seeing more Call of Duty and things. Well, we're going to go on to Activision-Blizzard news. I got 2 articles for them, I know people are like, gosh, Clint, every time with the Activision-Blizzard. I know, guys.
And they're one of the biggest companies out there. They're going to have the most news. It's just like we've always had a lot of Fortnite news and a lot of, what do you call it? Rockstar news, too. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we do need some Rockstar news. They need to tell us when GTA 6 is coming. It's been too long.
Yes.
I mean, to think it survived Xbox 360 and PS3. Then it went to PS4 and Xbox One, and now it's going to Xbox One or Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It's like, what? They need to give us something new.
Yep, I agree.
And they haven't made me happy with Red Dead. So come on, Rockstar, give me something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. World of Warcraft Shadowlands. We have an official release date that came out
again.
Yeah. Yep. So here we go. In a formal announcement on Twitter, Blizzard announced that Shadowlands will be releasing to the public November 23rd at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
The announcement stated that the extra time has been used to, quote, further polish the expansion and shore up the in-game, including overhauling the combat and rewards in the Maw, which is like their version of Hell, and reworking the Covenant system to make your choice more immediately helpful and have clearer long-term goals. They also said in the announcement that the pre-launch event will take place November 10th, and December 8th is marked as the date for the opening of the expansion's first raid, Castle Nathria. Its arrival will coincide with the beginning of Shadowlands Season 1, which I believe they're talking about the dungeon races that they have, the raids and stuff.
So how late is that? What was the original date? Do you remember?
October 27th was the original date.
That's what I was going to say, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so almost a month.
That's only a week, yeah. Well, that's not bad. I mean, it's a week ago from today, but we're talking about a month total. Yeah, I kind of expected it to become this ongoing thing. Usually once a company backs up, then they're kind of like, oh, and it's for a while, usually.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to tweak things. Now, there were some people amongst the community that weren't happy about this announcement. To me, I think it's great. Hey, I'm going to get to play on Thanksgiving break. Sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I mean, that hits perfectly for me. But some players weren't too happy, stating that because of the rating, the competitive rating would be releasing right about the time of Christmas. And people are like, we don't want to be having to grind hardcore during the Christmas season.
That makes sense.
So it's kind of like, and you guys acted like you wouldn't do that to us, and now you're doing it to us. But overall, I think the community overall is happy about it. But I think there is that select group of people who play it hardcore who are like, what the F, dude? It's Christmas time.
Right.
Can't help
but
that.
But in all reality, they're not going to care when it all comes down to it because they're the hardcore guys.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're just going to play anyways.
Yeah, they'll do it. And you can't tell me they don't play it anyway. Come on. If you're grinding that hard anyway, you're still playing. So, okay. So more Blizzard news here. We talked about BlizzCon 2020 being a thing, which is supposed to run from February 19th to February 20th of 2021. The event was originally planned for November of this year, and COVID canceled it. So now we know. We had announced the announcement that they were moving the date. So we have all that. Now it's an official statement from Jayon Brack. He stated here that it's going to be free to everyone.
Really?
Says here, in previous years, BlizzCon has been a pay-to-play event. The opening ceremonies are free, but you have to pay for everything else pretty much. It was usually about $40 for your virtual ticket. Not
a very cheap ticket, I remember.
Yep. So usually it made you feel better. They give you some in-game stuff, you know. So I was like, okay, yeah, you know, you go for it.
You're not just paying for the ticket. You're getting this kind of exclusive stuff. Yeah.
Right. Well, they're saying here that it's going to be completely free to everyone. They say that, quote, while we won't have the physical show this year, we're very much looking forward to the BlizzCon for the BlizzCon line early next. And then he skips and says, we want to be a big virtual celebration. So BlizzCon Line, I hate that name. will be free for everybody to engage in. It just throws me off every time I try to read it. Brock said that more than 95% of Blizzard's global workforce is now working from home. And they promised that this event's going to be a pretty big deal. And it's going to include the cosplay expedition and competition art and storytelling contest, which I like those. A talent spotlight and the March of Murlocs, a parade of Murloc-inspired looks, ranging from simple face paint to full-on cosplay. I don't know how they'll do that, but okay. So the other good thing is we may find out more about Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say we may. I'm going to make the prediction we will find out more about those two games.
I think it'd be a big mistake if we didn't.
Yep. So we'll get to cover that, and maybe if Christmas season slowed down by then for you, I don't know.
By when? What time are we talking?
November or February. Yeah, you'll be done with Christmas. It'll be
February
we're
done by then.
20th. Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe
that's my month where I take semi off. You know what I mean? And then I get back to Gears in March. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll do like a virtual. I'll just bring you in on the Parsec and we'll virtual it.
Or maybe I'll just come over to your house.
Or that we'll just have a Blizzcon party.
For once. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I forgot we can do that.
Let's do it. Let's put it in the calendar.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So there you go, guys. Unless State's that weekend. I don't think State's that weekend. Wrestling State. I don't know.
February? It's close.
It's pushing it. We'll see. We'll see. Tentatively, guys. Tentatively. Maybe be doing it from a hotel in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for the news, guys. There wasn't a lot. I mean, I really tried to look through, and Cyberpunk 2077, they went and canceled their, not canceled, but they delayed their game. And I feel like it created other delays, and just seems to be kind of dead right now. So. Well, usually if some other people are delaying and you've been debating on delaying and the other big competition delays, then you're going to go ahead and take the delay. But if you're going to delay and now the other guy's going to come out early, you can't do that because it's going to kill you. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And not really a lot of news going on the next-gen consoles just yet as far as big news, So, anyway, that's all I got. Are you ready for your freebies of the month, bro?
Oh, yeah. There's actually quite a few this month. I'm going to hit on some of them. We're going to probably skip some that are worth mentioning that I'll read, but won't give into deep details on.
Okay.
It's kind of like a weird up and downs for you guys. You'll see. We'll go ahead and roll that bean footage and jump in.
Come on down to Freebie Farm. All games are free, half off, and 70% off the price of free.
Games may include microtransactions, time gating, and in-game ads before, during, and after gameplay. No refunds will be permitted for child purchases.
All right. So this is the time where we talk about what's free, and we talk about the things that are also not quite free because you're paying for the subscription, but that you don't want to miss because they're in that subscription, which kind of feels like free. Once you get to paying for something like that and it's in your monthly budget and it's just usually coming out of your account, the games kind of feel free at that point.
Yeah.
So we've got some. One of them, if you're listening live, this is the only day you can get it, and you should get it. I know it's November, but it's the beginning of November, and we're still in Halloween mode. You've got Blair Witch, which I already downloaded. This is free for everyone on PC, and it's on the Epic Game Store. So you can jump on there. You don't even have to download it. Just click, purchase or whatever you call it. It's going to tell you the price is $0, and then it's good. It's in your library forever. It's never going to go away. It's free till today, but you own it forever. It's one of those, a truly free game.
Now, I remember you talking about that. That's a single player experience? Is that correct?
It is single player.
Okay.
Yep. But it's got really mixed reviews. Some people that hate it. I think the thing is there's aspects of the game that are phenomenal, meaning they're kind of different and game changing that really get people intrigued, but the game as a whole has some flaws. And so that's what's kind of hurt its reviews and numbers from everything I've looked at.
I think that's just like the mark of a single player game. It's
the mark definitely of horror games. It happens all the time in horror games where you're like, this is freaking awesome, but there's this big thing that bugs me. That happens a lot. Yeah.
Well, I feel like people are more okay, so the example would be, I'm sure Blair Witch is scary, and it probably has some, like you said, some good things to it.
Mm-hmm.
But a game that's co-op, that's enough to carry it, as in make it real popular.
Yep.
Whereas a single player experience, there's nothing else to add to those layers. So it's like,
Yep, that's all you got.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes are the mistakes, and it's over.
Yep.
For the regular free list, it's pretty empty. When I say pretty empty, I mean that was it. So, I mean, you got one other one on here, and it's called Wargame Red Dragon, but it's not out yet. It's coming tomorrow, so I guess it's coming in replace of the ones that are stopping.
Okay.
This is going to be on Epic Game Store also. This was a 2014 game. Let me get some details for you guys. It says, if you know what Wargame is, it's a strategy, real time, historic, tactics game.
Okay.
Basically, where you're group versus group taking areas, and you guys know how those kind of games work.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good game though. 78 rating. There's so many of those games that it's hard to get a rating that high. It's 78 on the Metascore, and it's got 192 reviews from the users, and it's 7.9. So for this kind of game, if you're into that kind of game and you want to try a new one, I think this is going to be a good one. It says, Wargame Red Dragon, you are engaged in a large-scale conflict where the Western forces clash against the communist bloc. Okay? If that's your jam,
so
check
Russia,
it out.
China, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a World War II thing?
It's the vibe. Yeah, the preview looked like that. Yep. And then next we got the Humble Choice or Humble Bundle, whatever you want to call it. I think they changed it. It used to be called a Humble Bundle. Now it's just called No, the Humble Bundle was like a special thing they had for sale, I think, for a little bit of time. So, yeah, it's the Humble Choice. Okay. This, we've talked about it before, Autonauts. That's on there through tomorrow. So if you're listening Friday, that one's not. But I know that's a popular game I wanted to just mention real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of them on the Humble Bundle or the Humble Choice end on the 5th. So we're not going to talk about it much. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of a weird timing, and they don't have an upcoming list. So I don't know why. There usually is, but I'm sure.
On the 5th of November, so tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why I'm not going to really hit on them.
Gotcha.
Just so you guys know, there's probably a whole new list coming out on the 6th. Usually I can see them on here, and they'll have like what's coming up. This time it doesn't have it, so we're going to skim past it. So from there to PlayStation Now, which for the last 4 or 5 months has really stepped up their list. Because I remember I was just trashing them for about 6 months straight because it was just horrible, the list you guys were getting in comparison to some of it.
I still say they're listening to us. We say these things, we make predictions, all of a sudden, boom, it happens.
Yep. And so we've got a bunch on here. Most of them are games but they're good games. So you've got FIFA 2020, right? Then you've got, let's see, F1 2020, which is a racing game. It's got an 86 Metacritic score. Injustice 2, which you guys know what that is. It's a fighting game. It's an 87 Metacritic score. Warhammer, we've talked about that one before. It's what does it say? Vermintide 2. We've talked about that exact game, so I'm not going to go into details on it. It's an 81 on the Metacritic score. That one's free on there right now. Trine 4, the Nightmare Prince. I'm going to talk about that one, give you a quick little rundown on it. That's an action platformer, kind of 2D style game. That one has an 80 on the Metacritic and a 7.1 on the user score. And let's see here. It says the series returns to the magic of 2.5D. So it's not really 3D, but what they're talking about is, how we were talking about it recently, how we see these kind of platformers that are 2D, but they've got depth to the world now. Right. They've kind of just coined that as 2.5D, which makes sense.
Ori in the Whisper, whatever the four.
Yeah.
Ori.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it says join 3 iconic heroes as they set off on a quest through fantastical fairy tale landscapes to save the world from the Nightmare Prince shadows. This is obviously a series from other games. I haven't played any of the Trines, but they all have decent reviews, right around 80. And so I think they're a pretty consistent game. If that's your style of game, check it out. And we got a couple here that you know. Final Fantasy 15, it's on there till March 1st, so it's going to be on there a while. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is free on there right now. If you have not played Resident Evil 7, you need to get it for free. It's free till November 30th. We talk about it all the time, how scary it is. If you have VR and haven't got it, you're crazy. You
Right,
need to get it.
exactly.
And right now it's free. So you got to check it out for sure. Dead Cells. I think we talked about that one before. It's an 87 on Metacritic. It's going to be on. Yeah, we did talk about it before. It's going to be on here till February 7th. It's been on here for a few months too. I'm not going to run through it because we've talked about it before, but it's a good one. Hitman 2 is still on here through February. If you don't have it, you need to download it so you'll have it. How does PlayStation Now work, Clint? I mean, does that once you download it, you have it, or it's only available while it's available on there?
I think some of those games are available while they're on there. Now, something I did notice with their collection is when I first did PlayStation Now, it was just streaming service, basically. You could stream old games, right? But
right.
Now I found that they're allowing you to download it to your console.
Okay.
So you have the option to download it. And so you just pick that game out of your catalog and download it.
And you can play offline or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
That's how this seems like it was. I just didn't know, does it go away when that time's up? Or does it stay? Okay.
But I don't think they take a lot of games out. I think they may just rotate some to create, buzz.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Metro Exodus, that's been on there forever. It's still on there, and it'll be on there to the end of this month. So it's almost gone. Looks like a lot of these are 4 or 5 months they're on there. Every once in a while, there's a quick one, though. It'll be on there for like a month, and I can tell that's like a teaser. They're trying to get you, to want to buy the game or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't complain about that. You can't. That's a lot of big games.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying for PlayStation Now, right now they're doing it right. You're getting well worth your value for PlayStation Now. That's what we've been talking about with the Xbox Game Pass. It's been pretty strong for a while.
And I think the price dropped pretty good. I think I'm like $10 a month, maybe.
Okay.
At now?
And the games are getting newer. I've noticed that over the last year. Used to, it's like hardly ever they had anything that was newer than 17. Maybe a few that were 18. And now we're seeing some that are 19 and even 2020.
I feel like that's the next gen thing. They know they're about to up their consoles. Hey, let's just go ahead and let these people play some of these PlayStation 4 games.
Mm-hmm. And so I want to make sure I don't skip one here, guys. I think so. You've got a couple on PlayStation Plus. One is called Hollow Knight Voldert Edition. That one's 85, and I've got some details on it because I have not heard of that game. So I clicked on it. It's got a great rating. So it's 85 with Metascore, and then it's got the 8.9 for users, which is super high for a user. This is a 2D, side scroll style game, but it's kind of one of these that are super artistic. It's kind of a dark artistic, if that makes sense. It's an action adventure game. It says descend into the world of Hollow Knight, the award-winning action adventure of insects and heroes. Explore twisting caverns, ancient cities, and deadly wastes. Battle trained creatures and befriend bizarre bugs. You just look like some little. They're not like bugs like normal bugs. They're like more like a made up bug. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So it's not like you see it and it's like, oh, that's a beetle. These are just some creatures that the artist thought of, but they look like bugs. And some of the scenes almost look like maybe you're inside of an animal. Like you're walking around on what looks like maybe like spines or skeletons and things like that.
Corpses of something.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of got that vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
But the soundtrack that's with it is really good, and the graphics are good, and it's definitely a smooth looking, good looking game. There's no way a game on here on Metacritic is going to get an 8.9 by users without really being a good game in that category. Right. So if that's your jam, you like them side scrollers, you like that artistic stuff, get you some of it. Another one that's coming. That's out now through the end of November, so it's just this month. Okay. That's it. And then this next one's the same way. It's called Middle Earth: Shadow of War. And
little Lord of the Rings action.
This one is action adventure open world. Mm-hmm. So I think it is kind of that vibe. It says experience an epic open world brought to life by the Nemesis system. Forge a new ring of power, conquer the fortress in massive battles, and dominate Mordor. Yep. Okay. And so it's for sure Lord of the Rings.
So this is after, is what it sounds like. Okay. Well, I mean, by the description, it says forge a new ring.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the old ring, bro? I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, don't ruin
it. Derek in the chat says that it's a good game.
I don't know which one he's talking about. This one, you think?
Probably Middle Earth.
Okay. This one, it's got a pretty bad user rating.
Oh, well, then he might be talking about the other.
Maybe in comparison to its Metacritic score, which is 80, its user rating, which has way more ratings than most do. Yeah. It has 1,400 ratings, and it's got a 4.4, which is almost never. So when I saw that, I kind of thought, man, did they just make this kind of like one of the movie ones or what?
Our boy Derek is sticking to his guns. He says Middle Earth is what he was talking about. So
okay, he says it's good. Some of the reviews down here are really good, and so that's why, even though the score is really low, I said, I'm going to mention it because it sounds like a good game, and it's maybe one of those that's got to be your jam, like all the way. You know, you love Lord of the Rings, and you're going to play it anyway.
I was about to say, you add in the Lord of the Rings element, you might get kind of a Star Wars effect.
Right, that's what I meant.
You can't please the ultimate fans kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not saying they're not, because I've heard Mandalorian is just killing it. Like season 2.
The first season was good. I loved it. You haven't watched it?
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really good.
It must be really good because you're not even the Star Wars guy, really.
I watch all the Star Wars. I'm not the guy that's into it like people are, like into the sense of where I know every character and what if you named a scene, I would know which movie it's in. No, I'm not that guy. Not on Star Trek either, because people go, "What are you, Star Wars or Star Trek?" Neither. I just like sci-fi, but I'm not one of those guys that's like engrossed in it like that. Yes.
I was more a Hercules guy, so I missed out.
Yeah, but I never miss one. You know what I mean? Yeah, I liked the Hercules.
Kevin Sorbo.
I used to watch Sliders back in the day. You know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. Outer Limits. I'm a sci-fi guy.
Not to get off track, but I went back and watched some Hercules like recently, like within the last.
It's like the most cheesy thing that's ever existed.
Oh man, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's the worst.
But as a kid, I just thought it was like top notch.
Yeah, just like Xena.
Yeah,
Xena, Warrior Princess, loved it.
I seen him pick up a boulder, and I'm like, that's clearly a foam boulder.
Yeah, but, it's just it didn't matter back then. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
I guess it's because you're a kid. Yeah, you're fine.
I didn't see it at all.
I think I mentioned a show the other day when I was on here. If you guys are into sci-fi type shows and you like apocalypse kind of things and you're into gaming, I'm telling you, this show called Utopia. This is not a show about shows, but the show called Utopia is about this comic book. It's like documenting like real events that are to come. Super good.
Hey,
anyways,
not to get too far off subject, and we keep wrapping into the movie and TV show area of life. I watched on HBO Max. I watched Class Action Park, and it's freaking great little documentary. It's
called Class Action Park.
Class Action Park. It's about this documentary about this amusement park that was built back in the 80s in New Jersey.
Oh yes, you told me about this.
And it's horrible. Like basically there was no rules. They let the kids run the asylum. And,
just death trap.
People got killed. The guy, not to give away too much, but the guy went and made a fake insurance company to insure his business.
Whoa.
So that's how wild this documentary is. So yeah, guys, if you have HBO Max or you just want to do the trial, go check it out. It's good.
Yeah, if you guys have AT&T's new unlimited plan, you have HBO Max and you just didn't know it.
Yep. Oh, did you just find that out?
Oh no, when I upgraded, I found out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we found out. They're like, "Hey, you get HBO Max." I'm like, "Sweet."
Yeah. Okay, next on here is for Prime. They got almost nothing. Prime almost always has nothing, so it's like, but you're getting it for free with your Amazon, you know.
Yeah.
So you're getting your Twitch Prime, and it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's kind of it really is literally free. There's a game called Extreme Exorcism. It's a platformer from 2015. and it's 75 Metacritic rating. It's got really good reviews. And that's it for them. There's just their whole list is dead.
When you said that, I wasn't thinking platformer. There's this game I've seen on, it's like an ad on like Facebook maybe, one of the sponsored videos, but it showed it's like a VR game where you got to go in and exercise the girl that's possessed by a demon in like a padded room, and then she starts like playing tricks on you, and she's all ghostly and demonic.
Nice,
looks scary,
That sounds good.
I don't remember the name of that game though, so that's why I thought when you said that I was like, "Oh, cool, really?" And then,
then you're like, "Oh, it's not the game I thought." Yeah, I get you. But Stadia has stepped up again. Seems like every single time we're on here, their list is not big, but they're consistently adding. These are just the new games added to the list. That's what.
So I guess we're considering those free in the sense of you're already paying the subscription.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the same thing for now, right? The same thing for Xbox Game Pass. These are paid subscriptions. So yes, we do call this freebie farm, but we're talking about basically the ones that are out ready for you to download that aren't going to cost you anything more. Because if you're already paying for your subscription, you're getting these games, and you don't want to miss them while you have the window. Some of these, I don't really think Stadia is a window. I think once they're on there, they're on there.
Okay, but that's not all games, correct? Or am I like when you get Stadia, you don't just get all these free games, right? You just have a selection of free games, and then you have the ones you have to still buy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm making sure of. Okay.
You asked me that. Now you're making me think. You do have to purchase.
I would think you'd have to. I don't think all these video game companies would sign up for a deal like that. So
now you're going to make me. We've talked about Stadia so many times. I do believe that these games are included. I do not think that you have to pay for them. It's just like Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, you don't have to pay for those games. Once you have them, they're just there. They're part of the deal.
Well, the ones you're saying are free, but I'm saying their total collection of games is all that free? That's what I meant.
We need to know. Look it up while I'm talking. We need to know that because now you got my mind spinning. Because in my mind, I don't think there's purchasable games for them. I think that's the difference in them and that Amazon thing we were talking about.
Is that what sets them apart?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you can go ahead and move on. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Okay. On Stadia, it's Stadia. I don't know why I always do that. Still, you've got a couple games. One called The Gardens Between. That's an adventure game, 2018. It's got an 80 rating. And then you've got one called Risk of Rain. And I'm going to hit on that one a little bit because it seemed kind of unique and good. It's an action shooter, third-person arcade style game. It's got an 8.1 user and an 85 Metacritic or Metascore. And it's a classic multiplayer roguelike Risk of Rain. Okay, so this is more than one player. Obviously, it's an online game like most shooters. Returns with an extra dimension and more challenging action. Play solo or team up with two to three friends to fight your way through hordes of monsters, unlock new loot, and find a way to escape the planet. Sounds like a pretty fun game.
Okay.
It's free. It's on there. I don't know if Clint's still looking or if he's got his answer.
I've got your answer, bro. Here it is.
What you got?
This is from GamesRadar.com. They say here that a Stadia Pro subscription will get you a complimentary game every now and then. So it's probably what you're going over right now.
Okay.
And then it says as well as discounts on all of the games in the Stadia library. So you get them a little bit cheaper.
Okay. So your subscription to Stadia is more like, that makes sense because you're not trying to get access to the game. What you're paying for with Stadia is the cloud console. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then they said the base option, which is the free version, you have to buy your games. All at the price. So this whole thing, I didn't know there was a free version that you could get and play the games, just buy them. So essentially, you're still getting a free console if that's the case. Says the Stadia base option is due out. Here it says sometime in 2020, and then says the base option won't have you do the monthly fee, but you'll have to pay the game. So I still think you pay for the console itself, for the actual when you get it.
So yeah,
you
probably pay the initial type deal. Okay, I got you.
And I'm sure if you buy it, we'd have to go back and look at it, but I'm sure they've got like some kind of 1 or 2 months free once you buy the console or whatever.
Right. Okay, so after that we've got Sniper Elite 4. That's the last one for Stadia. But that is, they're getting, if these are the games they're giving away for free, they are getting better games. They're slowly, each time we look on here, there's better games. What we need to do is pull up a current list of Stadia and do that in the next episode. Mm-hmm. So maybe we make a note of that. We haven't talked about it for a while. And last time we did, it was horrible, right? I mean, it just was not pretty.
So we want to see if they've gotten anything better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's been a long time since we made that list. So I know it had to have gotten better, but I'd like to know how much better. Mm-hmm. Also, a current review of how their lag's doing and what issues they're still having would be good for us to do. Next, you got Xbox Games with Gold. That's for your regular Xbox Online subscription. So I do kind of feel like those are free because you're going to pay for online whether you're going to get free games or not. Right. Because it's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. So you've only got a couple on there that are worth mentioning. One is for 360 if you're still rolling on 360, coming out mid-month, and it's only going to be for a couple weeks, is Lego Indiana Jones. And then you've got Origami Shadow Edition on Xbox One. And that's out to the end of November. Mm. Then Xbox Game Pass, if you're paying for that, they've got a really good list. And I'm going to hit on some of them. Some of them you're going to know what they are, but I want to make sure you know they're there. And then some of them we're going to not know what they are, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. Okay. You've got... The very first one I've got here is called Day of the Tentacle Remastered. This was a 2016 game. And this is by Double Fine Productions. It's an adventure point-and-click game. Okay, it says Dr. Fred's mustard purple tentacle is about to take over the world. And only you can stop him. I love some of these games' descriptions. Originally released by... LucasArts in 1993 as a sequel to the Ron Gilbert's Maniac Mansion, which I remember that game actually, the Maniac Mansion. Day of the Tentacle is the mind-bending time travel cartoon puzzle adventure game in which 3 unlikely friends work together to prevent an evil mustard purple tentacle from mutated. I said mustard every time I read that. I got my glasses on and everything. I have no clue why.
I kept thinking, what's a mustard tentacle?
Me too. I don't know why it doesn't even look like mustard.
Is that Colonel mutated. Mustard's tentacle?
I'm reading it too. Like, what is a mustard tentacle? It's all right, guys. I've been working hard. It's a mutated purple. At least it's purple, guys. At least that word was.
I think you need new glasses. All the PlayStation graphics comment and all that. I
can see sharp. It's crystal clear. These are new glasses.
How would we know that you see crystal clear? You know what I'm saying?
True.
You could say you are, but
an eye test would do it, but you guys wouldn't know. Yeah. And that's it. You're protecting the mutated purple tentacle from taking over the world. That's what you guys are doing. Okay.
And then when you kill it, you put mustard on it.
Yeah, you put mustard on it, fry it up, and eat it. It's got a 7.9 user score and an 86 Metacritic.
No turkey this year, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing tentacles.
Oh, my internet's doing the I don't like to refresh because you're doing stuff with me thing, which is crazy because I have fast internet. Here we go. Okay. Now, a big one that I saw in here that was like, we've already been debating getting Xbox Game Pass, me and Clint both, because it's been getting better and now it's on PC. And they've been talking about this game like it's so good, and I never got to play it. And now it's on there. And that's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ah, yes.
Good yes. Time. Yeah, and so that's on there right now till to be announced.
Okay.
That's a good game. And there's been consistently each month 1 or 2 games that are worth it just in themselves.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind's kind of like, Yep. Running down this list even more, you've got Superland. That's rated 89. That's an action adventure game. You've got.
You said Superland. I immediately think Mario. Like that's got to be Mario or something, right?
It's Supraland.
Okay, see, there we go. Crystal clear vision.
Yep. I said Supra. You just heard it wrong. Yeah.
I don't. I want to debate that.
Age of Empires 3 is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Katana Zero is on there for PC, and most of these are on here for PC, which I like. I know there was at least one more big one. Forza Motorsport 7. We haven't played Forza in years, but I used to love the game. So to have it for free and be able to check it out would definitely be some fun.
Has some races against each other.
Yes, I'd be down for sure.
Hunter be in the back, you know.
Mm-hmm. And on the coming soon list down here, we've got some decent games too. You've got what was it here? Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. That was the one I was going to read to you guys. This is a action shooter first person arcade game. 7.9 on the user rating and 83 on the Metacritic. The art style I really like in this game. And it says that Deep Rock Galactic is a 1 to 4 person co-op first-person shooter featuring bad-A space dwarves, 100% destructible environments, procedurally generated caves, and endless hordes of alien monsters. That sounds right down our alley. Yeah, definitely sounds fun. Yeah. So there's some things here that are definitely making me go Xbox Game Pass. I got a little bit of money this time of year. Maybe Xbox Game Pass is something I want to do because I've already been thinking about it.
Might be a little something we do for Christmas time.
Yeah, well, one thing I was wondering that we should look up is, do you get a break if you buy it for the year? Because that's something I try to do because I make more money in the winter. So, like, I'll pay for my insurance. I'll pay for things like that for the whole year because when my money's tight, I don't want to have to worry about it.
Yeah, I know Blizzard's like that. Like, you can do $15 a month, or if you pay for, like, a year, I think it's, like, $10. Like, they cut off $5 for each month or whatever.
Right. And a lot of things are that way. So, yeah. I'd like to find that out about this, and maybe it is, and we can do that. I think that was the last one for them, but there's one for sure that I think I missed. So let me scan through my list that I had here before we move on.
And guys, there may be other free games out there. We're just kind of going off Metacritic's big list that they put out. So if you know of anything, message us and let us know. We'll check it out or at least get it out on the podcast. And sometimes games you'll find go free after the podcast is released. Every once in a while. So
I did have one more. I knew I passed it up. This is called Grim Fandango Remastered. I need to go back and find out what it was on
once
I get done reading this description.
Sombrero, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an 84 on the Metascore and 8.1 for user. It says something is rotten in the land of the dead, and you are being played for a sucker. Please meet Minnie Calavera, however you want to say that.
Cavalier?
Nope, it's a name.
Oh.
Calavera. Calavera. I think that would be it.
Calavera.
Yeah. Travel agent at the Department of Death. He sells luxury packages to souls on their 4-year trip to eternal rest.
See, I already like the description.
Yeah. It sounds like a fun game. It's an adventure 3D third-person fantasy game. It's got great reviews. Just kind of an interesting game with great art again. That'd be one that would be worth checking out if you had. Well, let's see what it's on, huh?
Probably I think it's very Day
Grim
of the Dead.
Fandango.
Like everyone's kind of that art, the Hispanic culture of the Day of the Dead.
Yeah. It is. It's kind of a black and white style too.
Yeah.
That's Xbox Game Pass too.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was one of the other ones that caught my attention on there. So pretty good list for Xbox Game Pass. Pretty good list for PlayStation Now. Kind of weak on all other fronts on this one, but still some games that are worth playing for sure and worth checking out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that little rundown. A little bit shorter of an episode this week, but hasn't been a lot going on, and we have been crazy busy. So
yes, we have.
You may find that episodes might be a little bit shorter here for a bit. I do know we usually take a week off in November, and we'll probably take a week off in December. But we'll update you guys on when that is. I think we'll probably take Thanksgiving week off. is usually what we do, I think, on that.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be Thanksgiving week for me. There'll be no way I can take off early on Thanksgiving week.
Yeah,
and I might miss one other one during the Christmas season. Right now, it's still looking good, but we're feeling everything out, and the guys are really picking it up and starting to do a lot better job these last few days. So we'll see kind of how the rest of the season goes. But
yeah, so we'll play it by ear, but we'll figure it out. Same thing like with Hunter. He was busy tonight, and so life happens, and we just roll with it, and that's what we've been doing with this podcast, and it works pretty well. So, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to game with us, shoot us a message, let us know. We'd love to play with you. Right now, we're primarily still playing the horror genre games. Probably play a little Warzone. Not a lot of games out there right now that I want to pay for out of pocket going into Christmas.
I think we've got games on our plate right now we're enjoying. I think we're really enjoying Phasmophobia. I think we're enjoying Warzone for sure still. I think we're enjoying what's it called? We were enjoying Fall Guys. Yeah. And then we haven't gone back to it. And I've also been itching to go play some more of Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of these. I think we got a lot right now that we can play. So,
and then I've got my personal favorite, which is Shadowlands coming. Wow.
Oh yeah. So I think we'll be loaded up.
Yep. But guys, if you like the episodes and you want to support us, you go over to our Patreon. We have a little subscription there if you want to do that. But really, it's not just about the money. We want you guys to share us, get us out, help build the community, which is basically just liking us and sharing us on Facebook, going over to your iTunes account, giving us a review, rating us on there. All that kind of stuff helps get us more and more noticed, and we appreciate all the help. Of course, shout out to Johnny Weaver over at Click Gaming for sponsoring the show. We got more on the horizon, guys. It's just Christmas time. Thanksgiving and Christmas will be a little bit slower, I can already tell you. But I think that kind of comes with the territory with all smaller companies. So.
Yep. But we'll be good content, and we'll probably game kind of hard once Christmas season for me is over, which is like December 15th. And then we'll be back in it pretty hot and heavy. So we enjoyed having you guys, and stay delirious,
stay dadding,
and stay gaming.
This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.